Okay, welcome back to the latest video about Production Line by Positech Games. That's me. This is a car factory simulation game for PC, and I'm the coder and designer. I'm going to show you a save game before I do anything else. It's this one. This isn't like the biggest save game, because I've seen screenshots of ones that are vastly bigger. But it's pretty cool. And it's big, so it takes a little while to load, but not as much as it used to, because we've been doing a load of optimizations, because quite a weird thing happened that, well, not weird, but something that has never happened to me in all this time of making games, is that I started getting reports of kind of unusual errors, and I loaded up this save game in the debugger and it crashed in weird places, to do with allocating memory. And I realized that it was using almost 2 gig of memory, which isn't a lot, right? Because we've all got loads of memory in our PCs now. I think I've got 16 gig of RAM in my PC. But a 32-bit program can only access memory within a 2 gigabyte range. So you can't use more than 2 gig unless you're running a 64-bit program on obviously a 64-bit OS. Now almost everyone has a 64-bit OS these days, but my background is in making games a long time ago, and I've always just used 32-bit. Before that it was 16-bit. I mean, you know, these things keep changing. So I'd never hit that 2 gig limit before. So it was a bit of a thing, and porting to 64-bit would be a little bit of a pain at the moment, so I didn't want to do that. So I was looking into, you know, how can I fix this? And then I basically found a bug. Now you might notice that cars are made out of loads and loads and loads of layers. So if we go right back to the start of where the car's being built here, when they're just like this, they're just sort of axles and then like fuel tanks and stuff like that, and they get built up more and more and more until they look like this. There's a pickup truck there, and when they get painted, the colors of some of the layers change, but not all of them. Where's the paint? So you'll notice if you look here that like the inside of the car isn't green, and that front vent isn't green. So you have loads of layers, loads of components in the car, like a door is an example, and you can see this on the sedan here. They're like this red one, where the door handles aren't color tinted but the doors are, and that's because that component actually has 2 layers. There are 2 sprites there. There's the door sprite, including the handle, and then there's the door color layer, which is very similar but doesn't include the handle in that case, and that allows us to have colours not affecting everything, so we don't get, you know, coloured wheels and coloured tyres and stuff like that. So that's all well and good, but there are 34 layers in building up a car model, and there are 4 directions in each for each of them. So you have 128 sprites that make up each car. So you might think, how on earth can you draw so many? There's all sorts of tricks that we use to get around that. But ultimately, even though we're not drawing all of those, they have to exist, so we have to allocate memory for them. And the way I fixed this was basically to say, rather than for every car component say here's 2 layers, which may or may not be needed, one is the base layer, one is the color layer, we actually say no, you only have as many layers as you need. So the axle only has 1 sprite for each direction, and the car door has 2 sprites for each direction because it has a color layer. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, that knocked about 400 meg off the memory footprint of this game. Because there's a lot of cars. Look, he's got 3,944 cars in the showroom, right? And for long tedious reasons I won't explain, all of their graphical components exist. I need to find a way of getting around that so that they don't. But what this means is the memory allocations required for the game is vastly lower now. You need less RAM than you used to, a lot less, maybe even half as much, right? Oh my god, look, there's a graphical problem. Sack the coder. Sack him. Sack him. That'll be me. How annoying. So anyway, memory requirements have gone down vastly, and that also increases processing speed and stuff like that. So look, huge factories, and they load easily. I'm not sure how much memory we're using here. I'll have a little look. It'll be less than 2 gig, I know that. It is 771 meg, whereas this would have been more than double that a few days ago. So that's something that we've done. You won't really notice it unless you have huge factories and stuff. Look, there's another bug. Another Z fighting thing. How flipping annoying. There. Look at that. Oh. It's an easy fix. It takes 5 minutes. I just need to find them all. Right, okay, so we did that, and some new stuff has gone in, which I don't know where to find here, so I'm going to close down that game and load one of mine, which I do know where everything is. It still takes a little bit of time because there's a lot of memory involved. What am I doing? Right, airbags. Airbags. Let me close this thing now. Yeah, so we've added a few like graphical things to the game. Little bits of animation. I like a little bit of animation in the game. Makes it feel kind of more alive. So while that is loading, talk amongst yourselves. See, I then just alt-tabbed and created absolute mayhem. Have I caused problems? I think I've caused problems. Oh no. No, I haven't caused problems, don't worry. So I added some things. I'll show you some things. We all like things, right? And I need to find them. I need to remember what they are. There was a bug that stopped these sparks on power plants working. Fixed it. Nailed it. And there is some new graphics. Aha, look! The wheel-making stampy thing is new. Oh, we've run out of... Oh, there we go. Good chunk. The sensors. Are we building sensors anywhere? I know that's a new one. What's that there? That's... No, that's not it. That's not it. I might have to put one down just so I don't waste your precious time. Oh, and the airbag manufacturing. Oh, let me put that down. I've got a load of stuff here. So if I go advanced manufacturing, sensor manufacture, and I'll just hook that up. And bring that in. Look, I've got this little room with like laser warning signs on it, which is doing like laser etching of chip components and stuff like that. That's a new thing. Kind of cool. And if we go to, is it accessories, dashboard, controls, make airbag. There's a lot of new stuff. Now hang on, I think I showed this last time, didn't I? It was something else. I've added yet more new things. Make radiators. Oh no, that's not it. Fuel tanks. Here we go. Here we go. Honestly, there is new things. I'm not just trying to like pass off last week's stuff. This is a look. That's new, right? Get some resources in. Look, new stampy thing that's specially built and designed to stamp out fuel tanks. That's new. And what else did we do? Oh yeah, we've also sped up the closing down of the game. Something to do with particle emitters. You don't need to worry about such things. The fuel tank press, the laser manufacturing. Oh yeah, here's a new thing, right? If you've got a car design, I'm not managing things well here, am I? Now this is called sedan. If I create a similar model, if I give my sedan like 10% margin, if I create a similar model, it copies the name and adds copy, so it's now called sedan copy, and it keeps its margin. Neither of those things used to be true. That was something someone requested in like comments or something, and I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. So we added that. There was a thing in here where certain research things, like polished paintwork and aircon, which is tech, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, these icons that tell you how the AI is researching, they just weren't working for certain stuff like aircon. And they are now, so that's good. I think that is it. I screwed up and released a build that I created that couldn't load in certain save games, and then I patched it immediately. So if you've got that and you haven't gone back to Steam, it was only the Steam build. We fixed that. So something I want to talk about really quickly is balance. in the game. And the game, like records some metrics anonymously, which I compile into spreadsheets and I take a look at, and it shows me that there's been like really big changes in the direction I wanted that make the game harder later, so it doesn't get too easy. Now I know I collect stats from people's votes on the main menu that tells me whether or not people think the game is too easy or too hard. More people think the game's too hard than too easy, but most people think it's fine. This stuff's really hard, okay? If you think, well, this is stupid, the game is badly designed because it's too difficult, or there's an easy strategy and I'm winning. This is one of the hardest things about game design. It's very difficult to get this right, because you have this vast range of players, from people who are just clicking about things, maybe they're not paying much attention, maybe they're drunk, maybe they think they know how the game works but they skip the tutorial or whatever. And then you also have players that have watched all of these blog videos, they went through the tutorial twice, they've read the how to play guide on Steam, they've read on the forums, and they know everything. And they're like micromanage people who kind of like pause the game and then lay stuff down, check all their stats, and then they press play. So there's this vast range of players, and a good game design will accommodate that, and it will kind of balance things out slightly automatically so that everyone has just the right amount of challenge. But this is very, very difficult to do, very difficult to get right, given as well that you want freeform and sandbox and also challenge modes and stuff like that. So it is very, very helpful as the designer of the game when people give sort of like qualified advice. I don't mean you have to be qualified. What I mean is saying the game's too difficult is helpful. What's really helpful is saying the game is too difficult because I feel that when I'm so many hours in and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, that I just don't have the money to expand even though I've researched. Or the game is too difficult because I can never research stuff fast enough. Stuff like that. You know, that's harder to get just like from metrics and charts. I'm going to put up some charts as I'm talking about this that show me the kind of stuff that I am aware of. But it's what I don't want to do is just have like a difficulty slide or difficulty settings, because I think we should have moved beyond that in this day and age to be able to make games that can kind of react more sensibly to what the player is doing. I noticed another little discrepancy there. It'd be interesting to know as well if stuff like this really bothers you. You notice I can't see any of them in my save game, which tells me a lot, and that's why I haven't spotted them. But where things appear to be in front of things they're behind, the little like I can't find any. But if you really zoom in and you go, hang on, that doesn't look right, like this, you zoom in and you go, oh, you know, that's behind there and it looks slightly wrong. Does that really bug you? Should I care about that much now? Obviously it'll get fixed before like we stop working on the game, but you know, in early access, should I care about a graphical thing like that? I think probably not, but if it really annoys you, I would also like to know. The whole point of early access is really to find out what works and also find out what matters to players. So it's very interesting to hear from you what you think about this sort of stuff. I think I might put the price of the game up a little bit. I keep thinking of putting it up to $19.99. It's currently $17.99. I'd like to know what you think about that as well. I really don't know what to do there. It's such a difficult decision. Anyway, so like coming up, what we're going to be working on, there's a load of like minor things I want to fix. The smart junctions are going to have their own graphics that will go in. We're going to have some new achievements coming. I really like achievements. We're going to have some new ones coming in, and we're going to do the whole naming the company thing and seeing your company name, and also pausing, stopping and starting slots and importers, and configuring them. That'll be a thing. Beyond that, it's reliability and breakdowns. Anyway, so thank you for watching this and listening to me talking about on the technical side of stuff. I hope you're enjoying the game. If you like the game, please leave us a positive review on Steam. It's much appreciated. Or tweet about the game. That's always helpful as well, just saying I'm playing Production Line. It's really cool. And thank you to all the YouTubers out there and people on Twitch who stream the game. That's much appreciated too. Thank you for watching this. Please subscribe, and I will see you next week.